Hey everyone, it's Coach Adeena here from Clients on Repeat, the #1 growth coaching training for health, beauty, and wellness practitioners who want to work smarter, play harder, and build their ideal clients and lifestyle. Something was on my heart to come to you guys today and just talk to you. I just finished being pre-interviewed for the Live Beauty Biz Summit that's coming up next week in Hawaii. I'm so honored to be asked to be the very first keynote speaker of the event. And one of the questions that she asked me really got me to thinking about how many people really don't know my story, and really, maybe you should. If there's something that I say today that tells you a little bit about myself and my struggles the last 20 years, that my prayer is just honestly just to be real and to be vulnerable and to let you know that perfection is overrated, and I don't definitely have it all together. I'm so much more happier with the person that I am today, but I didn't always used to be this way. About when I was 8 years old is an age that I could pinpoint. Hey, hi, I see you on there. Come forward and say hi if you'd like. When I was about 8 years old, I remember walking home from school and stopping at a liquor store on my way home from school and being tempted by some classmates to steal candy. And that is where I would first say that age is where I began to have a real addiction to food and to sugar. And I remember wanting to, perform. I just feel like I wanted to perform, remembering I wanted to be the best in my class. This was like 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, and it honestly goes on from there. But for the longest time, I hid this. I hid feelings of inadequacy. I hid feelings of loneliness, feelings of just feeling not good enough, not feeling comfortable in my own skin. Hey, Maria. Thank you for saying hi. I appreciate it. So about, 8 years old is when I really started to notice that this huge anxiety and this huge fear or lack of being confident and comfortable in my own skin. I've always shrunk back from my own worth. I never really believed I was worth a lot, or that I was beautiful. And hey, Evelyn, how are you? Thanks for joining. So I would say, because I really struggled with anxiety, that, food was something that I turned to for the last 20 years, from age 28 to, almost 30 years, because I'm 39 now. So I would say about age 35 is where this kind of comes to a head, but let me explain. So when I met my husband, I was 19 years old, and I was a normal average weight. I had already packed on, an extra 15 pounds, but I was able to hide it really well. I was kind of voluptuous, but always a real thin kid, but I would say average, quote unquote, dress size at 19 when I met and married my husband. And he had no idea that I struggled with anxiety. He had no idea really what he was getting into, because, you guys, we met and married in 5 months. Yes, Sean and I have been married for almost 20 years, but we met and married in 5 years. So how well can you really know someone in that short a time? I don't regret it. It's still the best decision that I've ever done, because I would say God's love through my husband has been an instrument in transforming me, but it's definitely been a 30-year journey. And so when we met and married at 19, I just, hid the fact that I would, eat to hide my feelings. True story. And I, like I said in my little post up there, this is a secret that I've kept and hid from my own husband, from everybody, for almost 20 years and 10 years before I met him. But in order to just feel like, to soothe myself, There's a real thing called serotonin and dopamine in the brain. When you have sugar, when you have salty foods, it makes you feel calm. I understand why people smoke cigarettes. I get it, because you probably take a swig of that cigarette and you feel, you know, calmer, or you do drugs and you feel calmer or better. I totally get it. I really do. So for me, my drug of choice was food, and it was kind of acceptable. And so I remember just, you know, the more that I got into, you know, trying to be a good wife and trying to be a good mother, the more inadequate that I felt. I mean, my mindset, and that's why I coach and teach on mindset so much, is because to me, your success starts with you. Your success, or my success, starts in my brain. Either I'm going to wake up and think I can do something, or I'm going to wake up and think that I can't do it, right? And so for me, having struggled with such low self-esteem and such low confidence, it was such a huge cycle. It was a vicious, crazy cycle, to where I felt inadequate, and then I would go eat, right? I would be tempted and I would go eat, and I would overeat to the point of my stomach hurting and hurting the next day. I would never throw up or anything like that. I wasn't like, what's the word, bulimic? But I definitely had that obsessive overeating disorder. Like that was my thing. I would binge eat. And then I would binge eat, but then I would feel even bad about it. And so when you have those worse feelings, then I would turn to food again. So it was this crazy cycle. I would get beat up, you know, by my own mindset, like, you know, you're such a loser, you can't do anything right, you're not a good mom, you're not a good entrepreneur, you're not a good wife, go eat some food. And then you'd eat some food and like, you loser, why did you eat all that food? Why did you eat all that ice cream? Why did you eat this? Why did you eat that? I mean, it's absolutely crazy. And so I never let on to anybody what was going on. And I would say when I had my, after my second child, is at the same time I started, I went to work for myself in 2011. I opened up my own business, and the anxiety of how am I going to get clients in the door? How am I going to market myself? Am I going to make it? Am I really going to be successful? Am I really worthy of full price? You know, how do I capture those clients and get them to convert into repeat happy clients? The thoughts at night, oh my gosh, you know, and if you're a business owner, you get it. I mean, you know, sometimes you've laid awake at night and you're wondering how you're going to fill your books, how you're going to fill your bank account, those kind of things. So that anxiety is a huge trigger for me. And then so that trigger is satisfied temporarily with food. And so it is literally a secret that I've just never shared with anyone. And I'm so thankful, because after I kind of hit rock bottom, what really happened in my life, a game changer, my aha moment, my wake up call, I was 35 years old. My father, my biological father, and they divorced when I was about 2. He died in a freak accident, just totally kaput, gone off the face of the earth. 1 second here, the next second gone. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, if you can go that fast, if life is that unguaranteed, if that's a word, if life is not guaranteed that quickly, and he was so healthy, you know, he was a Marines for 20 years, he was healthy, he ran and he jogged, at 58 years old, boom, he's gone off the face of the earth. That was a wake-up call for me, because I was now carrying an excess of 100 pounds on top of my body. And one of my friends gave me a really great analogy. They're like, have you ever gone to Costco and you look at those 25 pound bags of rice? They were like, that was you carrying 4 of those 25 jasmine, you know, rice bags from Costco on your body. I'm like, oh my gosh, I never thought of it that way. But that's how heavy I had gotten, and I was pushing through. I always had like a pretty face. Oh, you have such a pretty face, you know, but I felt like a hypocrite, because in my business, you know, I'm talking about having healthy skin, and how what you eat, you know, comes out through your skin. And, you know, if you eat good, you look good. If you eat good, you feel good. But here I was, 100 pounds overweight, talking to my clients and educating them about having a healthy skin and how it also starts from within. and yet I was a fraud. You know, I was not living that that truth. And so my dad dies, and it's like this huge wake-up call. Like, I've got to get my life back on track. I've got to take my power back. I have got to stop sabotaging myself with food. I've got to get a hold of my life. And so after he died, I enrolled in like 6 months of classes at my hospital in order to get a mental education on food. And so it was a nutrition class. It was 6 months. You had to go every day or every week for 6 months without fail. You couldn't miss one. And I had to give myself permission to do that. And I also had to give myself permission to get gastric sleeve surgery. And it was the best thing that I ever did. It took me a year to even make that decision because I kept thinking, oh, I could do it on my own. But you know, I had tried for so long. I was 35 years old. I'm now 39. And nothing really seemed to work because every time I struggled with anxiety, I would go back to those old patterns. It was an old familiar friend since I was 8 years old, to overeat and to find like comfort in food, only to have that same food beat you up over the head and make you feel miserable, make you feel unworthy. And I think that's really where my superpower or my passion comes in, to helping entrepreneurs, because I really feel like it's all tied in. Your business is an extension of you. Oh, thank you, Anna. She said you look amazing. Well, I appreciate it. I love you too, girl. So I think that's where my passion, my superpower comes in, you guys, is that my biggest secret has become my biggest power. And there's something in you that one of my coaches told me. She said, the story that you want to tell the least is the story you must tell the most, because it's not about you. It's about being relatable and other people understanding that you're real and understanding that you have struggles and understanding that it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to not be perfect. And we all have things that we struggle with, and your business is an extension of you. And so for myself, having that lack of self-worth was huge, because if I didn't own my worth or love myself enough to think that I was worthy of success and worthy of loving healthy relationships and worthy of, you know, anything good, then it's hard to charge. Anna says, that's why live posts are so great. Yes, be real. Absolutely. So for me, my encouragement to women is to start here, start in yourself. If you are watching this and you're in the beauty, health, and wellness industry and you're struggling in your business, a lot of times that struggle is internal, and what you have going on the inside is affecting everything and everyone around you. You know, I understand, I get it. I still, you know, unfortunately have bouts of depression and anxiety to where I can't even get out of bed. I mean, true story. Even last month I had, you know, a time like that where it was a few days and I had to cancel, you know, my clients. And so you get in this really funky low place. And so when you begin to work on yourself, and that's why I'm so big on coaching. I'm so big on not only, you know, coaching clients, but receiving coaching for myself, because I need someone else, you know, to help pull me out of my rut. Hey, Nicole, how are you, girl? I need someone to help pull me out of my rut and help me take my life and my business to the next level. And every time I work on myself, and invest in myself, it seems like it's without fail, my business exponentially grows. I mean, maybe you guys saw a post on here today. Today I went in to the spa, worked for 3.5 hours and made over $4,400. So every time I get my mindset on right, every time I invest in myself and helping my to really love myself, my self-worth, it always comes back to me tenfold. You know, we weren't meant to be on this planet alone. And that's why we're on a planet with like, what, 8.5 billion people, because we were meant to do life together. You know, if you think about a barbecue and those old charcoals and you take one of those charcoals out of the fire pit, that charcoal slowly dies. But if you keep it in with the group, hey Marissa, if you keep it in with the rest of the charcoals, it stays on fire, it stays alive. And so for myself, my business was a direct, my business, or the success of my business was a direct reflection of what was going on in my mind and what was going on in my heart, what was going on in my life, what was going on in my body. And when I didn't have a lot of worth for myself, I couldn't charge my worth. I didn't believe that I was worth, you know, $300, $400 a facial, right? But now I believe it and I get it all day long. Do you see what I'm saying? And so a lot of the times that when we work with our clients, one of the things that we help them do is to create their signature systems, their services, their packages, you know, how to capture the right high-end clients and how to convert those clients onto clients on repeat. And that whole conversion part of our modules is, you know, about pricing and how to price yourself. And a lot of the times, like the woman I talked about yesterday on our live, she was a salon owner that was making over $7,000 in September 2017, but her numbers for September 2018, she went from over $7,000 to over $12,000. But, you know, she will tell you herself, and she's, you know, allowed me to come and interview her next week so you guys can pop on here. But, you know, she's made over extra $4,500, but she needed our help to help her with her prices and to help her with her mindset and to help her to own her value so she could charge her worth. And so there was some resistance that came in, you know, because she wasn't really sure at first that she was worth it. She had a hard time raising her prices. And, you know, if I raise all my prices, I'm going to lose clients. And, you know, who's going to come to me? Who's going to pay me? Oh my gosh, she's living proof. She surprises herself because now she has, you know, an extra $4,500 a month coming into her business. She's a $12,000 a month business. And so, you know, that's why I believe so deeply in changing yourself inside. It's got to start with you, and you can't do it by yourself. I've been able to change because I've hired over like 10 coaches. I've got mindset coaches. I've got, you know, energy, emotion, body code coaches. I've got, you know, business coaches. I've got coaches out the wazoo. I mean, we've spent like the cost of a house on coaching, but I love self-development. I love changing and improving because I know directly related to myself is my business. When you change yourself, your business changes. Your business is truly a mirror of what you're allowing or not allowing in your life, right? You're attracting, you know, clients that love your vibration. They love your energy because you know that you're worth it. You own your power. You know, you own who you are. You're not trying to be like anybody else. You know, you're just trying to be you. I'm not trying to be like anybody else. I'm just trying to be you. Hey, Lene, how's it going, girl? Good to see you on there. And so that's why it's so important, you guys, to ask yourselves, you know, what's the secret that you've been hiding so much from people to know? Because that secret that you've been hiding is the one that the story that you want to tell the least. That's the story that you must tell, because you weren't going through that for yourself. You were going through that so that you'll be relatable and understanding to help someone else. Life is not just about you. It's about helping other people. And when they know that you've gone through it, it's like I couldn't relate to someone who, I'm trying to think, gosh, I couldn't relate to someone who, I couldn't relate to someone who is a tile worker, right? They do tiles in bathrooms. I'm looking at my master bathroom over here. I couldn't relate to someone who does that, right? Really, because I've never done that. But I relate to people who struggle with addiction. I relate to people that struggle with, you know, who have alcoholism in their family. I relate to people who have been obese, like I was clinically obese. You know, it's not a nice, pretty word to hear, but when your doctor does the little scale in his hand and he says, he takes your weight and then he goes, oh, your BMI is whatever it was, 38% or whatever it was. You know, I relate to those people. I relate to women who were raised by a single mom and hardworking, And I relate to women who have tremendous anxiety about how they're gonna build their business and grow their business. I relate to women who are wondering, like, can they really make it? Are they really worth it? Can they really do this? But I've seen, not only has my life catapulted and changed so drastically, I'm talking like 180, guys, 180 in the last 8 years. Not only have I seen my life change, but the women that I'm working with, like I said, we're coaching salon and spa owners, people in the beauty, health, and wellness industry. I've seen their lives completely do on a 180, and it's addicting. And it took, them getting out of their comfort zone. It took them believing and understanding that they're worth it, believing that they can own their value and charge their worth, and not trying to go for like 90% of the population in their town. You don't need them. If people are looking for those cheap, discount diva type of people, there are people on every corner who probably charge 50% less than you charge, right? You're not looking for those type of people. That's okay. You're just looking for the top 10% of the population, and trust me, they're there. If you look around, people are driving Range Rovers, Land Rovers, Mercedes, Audis, whatever those are. If you look in your town, maybe only a few of them are driving them compared to the rest. But what my point is not a matter about what you drive. My point is that there are people who can afford your service. There are people who are looking for you. There are people who want you. There are people who are looking for the best, right? I had a new client today. She spent over $3,000. $3,000. She bought 12 products, and she bought 6 facials, and she spent over $3,000. And she said that she was looking for the best, right? That's the kind of client I want to attract. Now, the old Adeena would never have been able to think that I could have a $4,443 day today in 3.5 hours with 4 clients. That was my day today. I went in at 10 o'clock. I got out of there at 1:30, and I went to you guys live and was so excited. I couldn't wait to share with you guys what an amazing, incredible income day that was. But that's what we work with our clients on, because they need that capture, convert, and commit philosophy of clients on repeat. They need to have those signature systems in there. They need to have higher price. Now imagine I didn't have a $400 treatment, right? Imagine I only had $80 treatments. Guess what? I'm gonna get $80 treatments all day long. But because now Adeena knows and believes that I am the authority in my industry, that I am worth it, that my time, my education, and just because it comes easy to me and it's fun for me to do skin, it doesn't mean that it's any less valuable, right? And so I offer my clients amazing service with amazing results on their skin and in their lives through coaching as well. But if I didn't have that $400 service, I wouldn't have the opportunity to have like an attraction magnet, so lack of better words. I couldn't magnetize that type of client that I got today, the client that paid over $3,000 and booked herself out for like the next 6 weeks to see me every single week, right? So, and to buy every one of my products. Can I tell you, she already had, I don't know, like $500 worth of products that she had on her counter. And this happens all the time. She trusted me enough to say, you know what, I want to throw all this garbage away. She was trying to splice and dice her own, skincare regimen. And she was here. I step in as the authority. I'm confident. I know exactly what I'm doing. I own it in the treatment room, right? That's what I teach you guys, is to have that retail sales, that confidence, that capture magnet, that conversion magnet, that committing to yourself through time, effort, and discipline. And so because I do that, she's like, you know what? She's on the table and she's like, I'm doing her facial and she's like, I want to get rid of all my products. I just want to start fresh. My gosh, guys, if I had $1 for every time someone told me I just spent $400, $500 on these products from so-and-so, but you know what? I'm going to get rid of them all and I want you to stock me up on everything you got, all 12 of your products. If I had $1 for every time that happened, I would be another, millionaire. So I'm just trying to share with you guys that the biggest secret that I ever had was just not really loving myself and stuffing that lack of worth with food. And now that I love myself and now that I don't binge eat and I have a tool called gastric sleeve surgery, which is another secret I would always have been afraid or ashamed. Like, as if I was less than anyone else. Like, oh, you know, you can't tell anyone, you know, you had gastric sleeve surgery because, you know, they're going to judge you or think that you're less than, or that you're a failure somehow, right? But for me, it was the greatest thing I ever did, because it gave me the tool that I needed so that I don't binge eat, so that I don't overeat. And then once I was able to work on that physical tool, I was able to work on my own mindset. I was able to work with, you know, like I said, I've hired personally about 10 coaches and work on retraining my mind and my heart and my spirit and my soul and my body to believe that I'm worth it. And so now that I know that I'm worth it and believe that I'm worth it, I can own my value. I do own my value, my beauty, my power, my message, my authority, my sound mind. And now I'm able to attract those clients that believe and know that I'm worth it too. Does that make sense? Or like, I believe you, I know you. I see Nora, she's giving me some hearts. It all starts from within. It all starts from you. So again, a couple ways is, what's the secret that you don't want anybody to know? That's your greatest superpower. You know, someone will look at me and say, oh, she's so beautiful. You're so confident. You have it all together. Actually, my superpower is, though outwardly, I look like this, you know, woman that has it all together, you know, great husband, great life, great kids, great 6-figure business, and all that is true. But inside, you guys, on a daily basis, because I, you know, have struggled with food addiction since I was 8 years old, and anxiety since I was 8 years old, and perfectionism and procrastination and, you know, fear of failure and fear of success. I mean, how many of you guys know in your heart of hearts you are meant to be great? But if you actually think about it, every time you get an opportunity for greatness, you shrink back and you sabotage yourself and you pull yourself away. I get that. Hold on one sip. I get it. I've done that too. So that's my greatest superpower, is even coming on here with you guys live. You know, there's a part of me, the old mindset gremlins were like, you know, who do you think you are, Adeena? You don't need to come forward and talk to anyone. You're on lives way too much. Hi, Nora. You know, you're on lives way too much. You need to like squash that and don't shine and don't come forward so much and keep it down a little bit. You know, stay in your corner, stay in your own little spotlight, stay in your lane, just be quiet. You know, that's what I hear. That's what I struggle with. And I literally have to kind of take a deep breath and say a quick prayer and say, no, this isn't about me. Someone out there needs to hear this. Someone out there is struggling in their business and they don't need to struggle. Someone out there is struggling in their mindset and they don't need to struggle. There is a simpler way, and everything that you've ever wanted is absolutely possible for you if you're willing to commit and take action. And I had to take some drastic action, right? I had to go to my hospital for 6 months and take weekly nutrition education classes. And I had to take another drastic action. I had to sign myself up to be in the hospital for 4 days and get that gastric sleeve surgery, right? I had to take action and leave a very well-paying medical spa job and go start on my own with zero clientele in a brick 3-story medical building that, for all intents and purposes, and I am still there today, you know, 7 years later, by the grace of God, because I'm in this 3-story medical building, I had to take action and learn how to be visible and get myself out there and learn how to market myself and learn how to, you know, attract those high-paying clients so I could just work 2 days a week and spend time with my family and have weekends off and still make, you know, like I did today, over $4,434, right? With just 4 clients. So I had to keep taking action. Every day you get up, you guys, you got to dust yourself off. You know, Aaliyah, who knows that Aaliyah song? Dust yourself off and try again. God rest her soul. But, you know, that's what it takes to be a business owner. It's about taking action, not wishing and wanting and hoping that something's going to change, but actually taking action that something will change for you, and owning your superpower, owning your vulnerability, owning your weaknesses, because your greatest strength is in that weakness. And so you don't allow yourself to be lied to that you have to be perfect and you can't share that weakness or that vulnerability with anyone else. I understand when you know, feel like you're going to share that, you feel like you're going to be judged or criticized, or, you know, it's hard to be intimate. and let people know, let people in and let you know, let them know who you really are. But I'm just kind of at that point in my life where enough is enough. I get to those levels where enough is enough. I'm enough. I'm tired of being overweight or 100 pounds overweight, or enough is enough. I'm tired of working for a medical, spa and, having someone else tell me what to do and how to do and give it my nights and weekends, I get to the enough is enough spot. And my enough right now is, is I'm tired of, being afraid and not putting myself out there, because what I have to share is super valuable. What I have to share is real, and what I have to share has changed lives. Look at our testimonials on clientsonrepeat.com, where women have literally like doubled their income in like 3 to 6 months. It's absolutely insane. And a blessing and amazing. And really just get myself out there and let you guys know that there is a better way. And I'm not perfect, and I've struggled with all of these things. So I'm a little bit on a rant. I see all of you guys are watching. I really appreciate you guys.